Retrieval practice can help children with DLD to learn new words and engage with DLD research summary. Click the microphone icon on each slide to hear an audio recording of the research summary. Key terms, words to know in this research. Retrieval practice, learning information, then immediately trying to recall it from memory throughout learning, not just at the end. Repeated spaced retrieval, a specific type of retrieval practice, trying to recall a word multiple times throughout learning with other words in between each try. Repeated study, learning a new word by reviewing it multiple times without trying to recall it. Study background, why was this study important? Children with DLD struggle with word learning, which can make it difficult for them to understand grammar. Past lab experiments show retrieval practice helps with word learning. Study aims, what were they trying to find out? This paper looked at retrieval practice in a real-life setting. It tested whether using repeated spaced retrieval practice during shared book reading helps children with DLD learn new words better. Book sharing is especially helpful for children with DLD because it helps them learn both words and grammar. Methods, participants. Who took part in the research? 13 children with DLD took part in the study. 14 typically developing children took part. On average, the children were around 5 years old. Methods, tasks. What tasks were involved in the research? The children learnt new words through 2 different storybooks. Half of the words were learnt through repeated spaced retrieval. The other half of the words were learnt through repeated study. The researchers looked at which type of practice worked better. Results. What was found? Effectiveness. Repeated spaced retrieval was more effective than repeated study for both the recall of new words and their meanings, 5 minutes after learning and 1 week later. Group differences. This was true for both children with DLD and typically developing or TD children, although TD children recalled and recognised more new words. Grammar skills. Children with DLD could successfully add S to newly learnt nouns when the context requires a plural form. What do the findings mean? This study shows that retrieval practice in shared book reading can be helpful for children with DLD. Parents, teachers, and speech therapists can incorporate retrieval practice into story time to support word learning. Find out more. You can read the whole paper for free by following this link. Thank you for reading this research. Contact us with questions or feedback. Engage with developmental language disorder.